Hello， 欢迎大家继续回来收看瓦尊的频道啊！我们今天继续来玩这个《地平线2》的西域禁地啊。上次我不是问了这个要做了任务手臂的测试的，我已经做了的，因为我本来刚有录到了，但是出了一些问题，我就直接跳过，因为也不是严重啊，只是再去多一次这个地方，只是去。我现在为什么我的东西不见了？什么鬼啊？怎么我看不到那些了？诶，怎么我看不到任务的东西了？卡机啊？诶，搞乜春啊？不用紧啊，我就先做这个直线线了。还有这个，不能买它先。
Aloy!
Right to work, I see.
There's just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor. Genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late Sio. And there's more ancestors out there, returned from beyond the stars. Of course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great. And Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and...
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at landfall. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help.
You mentioned Eric Visser? How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military tactics. Knowledge our rulers used to conquer and expand, to become the empire we are today. That's why he's one of our most revered ancestors. But, based on your encounter with him, it appears he's even more ruthless than we ever imagined. Yet another distorted interpretation in the legacy.
Well, at least you're piecing together the truth.
If only the overseers back home would do the same.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about them. Whatever legacy they left behind, the Diviners haven't recovered.
Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me is curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Song Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
I see you're using your new focus.
It's been fascinating. So much better than the version the Quen have. What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover? With this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up the process. This could revolutionize how Diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the Overseers would actually let us study.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A Diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives such as this. And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. I would be remiss to ignore any truth laid before me. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way back to the path of truth.
Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel. It's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night. I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is, well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both genetically Elizabeth Sobek, but even so, you're different.
We grew up very differently. But sometimes different is good.
Yes, of course.
I hope everyone's been treating you okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
有的，这里的人都不是坏人，不带企
And
业
they。share the knowledge they learn on their focuses with each other freely. It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share data with the permission from the overseers.
Sounds restrictive and stifling.
You are not wrong.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. So seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
If you need anything before heading out to the cauldrons.
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice from Kotalo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. We'll even the odds soon enough. Anything new around here?
Kotalo showed me the schematics for his new arm. I recall reading about robotic limbs within the Legacy, but I never thought I'd see one in action. Technology like that would be treasured back home. Think of what it could do for injured workers or soldiers. But knowing the Imperial family, they would use it for different purposes. Their own.
Replacing body parts as they grow older. Like the Zeniths.
Exactly.
You mentioned the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners. Peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, they were so proud. It brought honor to our family and increased rations. Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why? What happens there?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not allowed to leave or see anyone, not even your family. Unless you can get special permission and an escort by an overseer.
It sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are few in number, and the Empire is, well, fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to death along with everyone else.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't come to that. The ancestors. Is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning with the CEO. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Farrow, whom we considered the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Farrow, revered ancestor. It's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Farrow spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important ancestors did. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an expedition across the ocean might solve our most pressing problems. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms that threatened our people. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into this endeavor. Dozens of ships were built, scouting missions were dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named CEO, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire, the living embodiment of Ted Farrow, a renewer. It may seem strange now, but for a time, he carried all of our hopes. We really believed he would save us. We had no idea just how perilous the journey would be.
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ships to hurricanes, and scores of soldiers perished to hunger and disease. And that was before we even hit the coast. Once we landed, machines ripped our patrols apart, and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes and the greenhouse, but nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dashed. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and what lay behind its door, and more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere honorific. You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of a firing squad.
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. I can see that now. But what the CEO became was a complete perversion of what principled diviners stand for. The pursuit of truth. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness. I'm just glad it's over. For everyone.
So, Bohai, your overseer.
Bohai.
Will he run things better than CEO?
He won't execute people on a whim, if that's what you mean. But he's hardly a paragon of integrity. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Yep, sounds about right. Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to seek out the truth in the legacy, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find something the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. Detrimental to the stability of the Empire, like discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world. That is why diviners are only allowed to access segments of the legacy. Only overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and retrieved before it can spread.
What happens to diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage to ask.
冇講呢，咁多人都唔夠我哋打，再去你
You
需要我
mentioned
幫
there
忙，
was something you needed help with?
睇我幫什麼？
Yes. So, as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created. It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So the legacy tells us, anyway, if we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. Would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, you're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
I should go.
Of course. Before you do, is everything alright? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth.
哇，仲係很久喎，這條水。
And, like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
在哪里？那地图不见了啊！哦，关掉了啊！你给我开到玩它了，完了喂！怎么会关呢？啊？这个是什么鬼？哦，问号啊！开到玩它了，哦，这边有个开的是吗？这怎么会关掉了？不懂啊，关它。嗯，这啊，在哪里哦？这个地方。 有冇顯示啊？哦，來到這邊來哦 ，OK 啦，我懂了啊。 我嚟啊！肉乾頂呱呱，我來啊！肉乾嚟啊！我喺野路緊，好啦。 这边的东西应该不难做了，可以放心。怎样都不应该不够那个五兽楼打那个部落难倒啊！人真的难打到鬼一样。哎呦，现在我来到这边。 你要我去邊度？
said one of the diviners here might know where the Leviathan research facility is. Better go to the campfire and let her know I'm here.
这边播了这样多支线啊，那指点我们跟他玩。
Hey, Alva, I'm in landfall. Can you meet me here?
I'll be there as soon as I can. Aloy, I'm here. Had to sneak past a few machines on the way, but I made it.
All right. Ready to talk to that diviner?
Yes. He's right over there.
Diviner Alva, what are you doing back in Landfall? And with the living ancestor?
We're looking for the At-Bay Research Center, where Leviathan was developed. The legacy tells us it's somewhere in the city.
Alva mentioned you've been collecting data in the area. Do you know where it is?
Yes, I stumbled across it, but there was no data there, only crumbling ruins.
Tell us anyway. We might be able to find something you missed.
Please, don't trouble yourself. I assure you, our search was very thorough.
啊，你看，他一定有话不要讲啊。
That is absurd. A diviner must only speak truth, as you're well aware.
Oh, you're worried you found something dangerous. Something compromising on Eileen Sasaki?
Keep your voice down.
Look, I get it, Nirik. You want to make it back to your family, so it's safer to turn a blind eye. But think of Leviathan. How it could help everyone. Isn't that why we're here? Don't let fear deny us that.
Very well. The facility's just south of here along the shore. But even if you find a way to fix Leviathan, it's sure to be shrouded in that which is forbidden.
Too often the truth is forbidden. Come on, let's go.
我的行啊！我想做完这支线才继续做主线呢。我看看后面有没有人帮忙，或者才这几个而已。
Not bad with that diviner back there. We've come a long way since we first met.
And Nirik's like I used to be, terrified of a misstep. And with the overseers, he has every right to be. But what I've seen and learned since the greenhouse, it's so much more than what we're permitted. Diviners are supposed to seek the truth, and yet so much is kept from us. I'm tired. That should be the facility ahead. We need to find a way in.
Up here. Well, Nirik wasn't lying about crumbling ruins, at least. Let's look around.
Aloy, why is the ground shaking?
That's not good, whatever it is.
Whoa, that thing is huge!
We'll have to take it out if we want to find that data.
Okay. I'm with you.
闲了。
We're here. We have no choice.
喂，打哪了咯？你做咩嘅一下咁容易打？哦，我没有按到这个。OK。因为只有要拿武器啊，按剧情啊比较容易拿咯。但是作为正常人，我们当然打回这个。哎呦，我死掉了。但是如果你要轻松玩的，就按剧情哦。因为我之前也是按中等模式来捡武器的，真的要等很久，真的拿不很久才拿。 有没有看到我等级升完，我的东西都拿不完了，所以搞到现在我都不想拿了。哎呦！哇，他要死了，他自己中这招，都是佢嘅弱點啊！最後嘅伏擊嚟咗肚啊！呢個時候就伏擊佢，殺咗佢啦。
Down it goes.
Whew. Well, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
We should be able to look around for that data now.
我去哪里哦？这边。收皮，冇咩可能喎。走下这边。哦，看到了。切。
I don't think it'll connect.
打開。
Through here.
After you.
有嘢攞。
Time for a swim.
At least the water's not freezing. Look at this place. I always try to imagine what it must have been like back when the old ones were here.
It's less of a crime, I bet. Come on, let's check the upper floors.
有沒有顯示有張軸
You okay?
On every expedition, the soldiers would lay down walkways and barriers first to protect us diviners.
There, the console.
Must have been what Mirik found.
Let's see if it has anything on Leviathan. The data on Leviathan isn't here. There's some kind of log.
Delete the database? But Miss Sasaki, when you look at the reports, 3,000 exhibiting symptoms. Over 400 dead. The data's clear. Omarama is contaminating the water supply, promoting bacterial growth. And with Leviathan based on the same architecture...
You're a smart kid. Top of your class, right? My father built this company thanks to world-class talent like you. And you know what else is world-class? Our legal team. So unless you want to spend the rest of your career in some dead-end, underfunded public research institute, you'll delete that database and forward all data on Leviathan to my office.
Yes, ma'am.
That was her. The ancestor. Eileen Sasaki. Hundreds dead. And she knew their system was to blame, but she had the truth erased. Were all the ancestors like this? Selfish, ruthless, immoral? And yet we hold them up as paragons of enlightenment and virtue. Given what we've learned, I don't even know if Leviathan will work.
Hold on. Let's not give up just yet. You said before that the old ones use Leviathan to control flooding. Which means it probably worked. We'll know more when we find the data on it. The recording mentioned a copy was sent to Eileen's office.
To their corporate headquarters. There.
哇，又要爬高高啊！
Let's go. It shouldn't take us long to get to the tower.
Lead on. So what was that other system the recording mentioned? Omuramba?
The legacy tells us it was the predecessor to Leviathan, a system that manipulated floods to bring life to a barren desert.
Mine seemed to know a lot about this ancestor.
Diviners spent years trying to figure out how to restore Leviathan. We found a lot of data on Eileen Sasaki in the process.
Entrance is blocked. Gonna have to find another way in.
The soldiers built a path on the nearby ruin. Might be able to cross over from there.
你行啊喂！乜鬼喎？仲唔行快啲天黑咯！
I think this is as far as our soldiers got.
现在啊，你在这边啊。
Climb higher to get into the tower.
I'll follow your lead.
那突然又变成我带路了，带路不好咩？
Up we go.
怎么？我丢翻落嚟先。OK。喂。哎呀。麻煩。跳不到过去那边的喂。喂，我要跳过去那边，怎么跳不到啊喂？呢度做過嚟，點解我上去呢度跳呢度啦？梗係，依家要行呢度啊！
You doing okay, Olva?
Yes. Don't worry about me.
我突然就这样好跳了。
How are we going to get across?
我想讲嘛哟，我这边哦，我记得一个墙景路是开不到的哦。 不见了。哦，这个到现在还是锁头锁着，不中鬼啊！怎么了？
This is a lot higher up than I thought.
搞到鬼这样啊！
Glintox.
哦。
Well, we have the element of surprise.
被发现了，被发现了！
Or we can sneak by and, you know, not fall off the tower.
Hey. 食火啊你！ 咁容易打的，冇理由啊！係喎，咁差啫。嗰年， 装垃圾的。
There. The more Glinthawks.
I've heard our soldiers say the Glinthawks are the worst.
Up this way.
Cái bố cái lệ lệ, miêu chăng lệ.
Aloy, we're really high off the ground.
You can do it, Alva, okay? Just don't look down.
Right.
There's
Of
the tower.
course.
Should be able to
Super
cross
easy.
over.
Aloy.
I'm okay.
Ơi.
Just know what to do first. Should be able to make it to the other side.
这里上面没有东西 ，focus。我真的蛮高一下啊，而且我要这样跳过去，直接跳。Yes。
Made it. Okay, Alva, your turn.
Right.
Gotta make sure Alva makes it
Yeah.
across.
Aloy, can you watch me and make sure I do this right?
玩野线了，废物，像一个废物。密码显示器就告诉我们密码是什么，不然我有显示这么说。对了，我就用委婉的创立时间，也就是月份、年份。没怪哟，你跳过来了嘛？
Come on, Alva, you can do it. It's okay.
Please don't break.
我要看着他哦，他在好跳哦。
Alva!
I'm okay.
吓到我，
Wow.
我要掉下去哦。
That would have been a long way to fall.
And then?
Oh, door's locked. You sure you're okay?
Yeah. No, I'm fine. Let's keep going.
This says the code is the month and year the company was founded.
According to the legacy, it was October 2023.
So the company was founded in October. Got it.
The 10th
Door should be unlocked
year.
now.
Why? You yo.
Maybe the data on the drive.
Reduction strategy. We're talking about people's lives here.
我讲话了
I
这边
did as
，OK
you
了。
asked on Omuramba, but this is worse.
Relax, Eileen. I've spoken with risk management. They're confident that the chance of another incident is within acceptable parameters. We're moving ahead with Leviathan.
You know, Dad, shortcuts have a way of catching up with you. Within acceptable parameters or not.
Well, one day in the distant future when you're in charge, you can run things how you want. But until then, how about you let me worry about that?
Guess Eileen and her father didn't always get along. But it seems like covering up on Rambo wasn't her idea.
Doesn't matter. She still had a part in it.
Well, let's keep going. Her office must be higher up.
Dead end. There's a ladder in that shaft, but it's blocked.
I might be able to pull the rubble out from the other shaft.
这边有的走啊，这边锁掉了咯。走的头诶，走这边啊。
Let's see where this leads.
You go on ahead. I'll look for a way up that has a lesser chance of falling to my death.
Okay. Hey, Alva?
Yes?
There's something I don't get. You said Eileen was the one who built Leviathan, not her father, so... what happened?
I'm not sure. The legacy doesn't say. Either that knowledge is lost or forbidden. Or maybe we were wrong about that too.
我要找一个没有将用于吊死的方法，就是还要林北给他找路啊。
Are you doing okay, Aloy?
Yeah, it's just a long way up.
Ah, 这边应该爬不到上去啊。这边不可以过了，我这边要爬上去啊。OK， 为什么跑唔上啊？喂！哇，轻一点点哦。
Now, how to get up higher?
Oh, 刚刚是这边是这样的，是吧？去主秀看，对。
How about you, Alva? Any luck finding a way up?
Not yet.
过到去那边不用了。搞定。
Well, that's done with. Okay, I'm back at the shafts. If I blow up that fire gleam, the elevator might fall and open up a path for Alva.
哇，他就搭电梯啊
Step away from the shaft.
Okay. Whoa! Oh, I can reach the ladder now. Be right up, Aloy.
Looks like there's another floor above. Might be Eileen's office.
Okay, I'll meet you up there.
诶，这个不是我的，
He was trying to pull that.
没有用哦，好像。哦，这边，阿姐。喂，一，咁咋？
Made it!
哦，哥哥，给你掉下去啊，这个你爬回上去哦，然后这边拿这个东西。哦，吔屎啊你！你唔好跌落。哇，很好爬哦，那如果就是叫我一直爬耶。喂，到了。
There you are.
Come on. Let's see what's up here.
又有一个火。保存。
Another locked door. Need to figure out the passcode.
These artifacts. I think these were Eileen's. It's every diviner's dream to discover even one of the ancestors' artifacts.
And maybe they'll help with the door.
That must be the Dragonfly 6. Atbay used it in most of their construction projects. The Dragonfly 6 was their most successful model.
Huh. It's art, I think.
Could it be? Yes, I think this was commissioned in honor of the company's 25th anniversary.
This looks like some kind of prototype.
For water purification. Must be the H2 flow.
What?
H2 Flow. Their early inventions had strange names. Oh, that must be the Larson McCory Award. The legacy says Eileen won it when she was 40 for her work on Leviathan.
Interesting.
Oh mamma嘞！
What was this called again?
The Dragonfly 6.
蜻蜓6號。
All the numbers you mentioned. I wonder if they make up the passcode.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
呢個
How old was Eileen when she won this award?
40.
40。
What was this thing again?
The H2 Flow.
402。
What did you say this was for again?
The company's 25th anniversary.
25。
Looks like it used to be on the last pedestal.
402，然后是25，然后那个
That didn't do
6。
anything.
I thought that would have worked. Did we overlook something?
不是咩？他讲40岁嘛，然后25。诶，是2000，然后到25是吧？然后再6。
Two artifacts on the ground. Maybe they used to be on opposite pedestals. You said Eileen was how old when she won this?
40.
40。
What was the name of this thing?
The H2 Flow.
2。
You said
402
this
吗？
was commissioned for something?
The company's 25th anniversary. Looks like it used to be on the last pedestal.
Remind me, what was this called?
The Dragonfly 6.
Could look around with my focus.
应该没有了咯。他讲40，然后那个2，那是25，然后6。对耶，我做过什么呢？你看啊，40，2嘛，那个25打26看看。
Not quite right.
没有可能看错啊。
How old did you say Eileen was when she won this?
40.
40歲。
What was this called again?
The H2 Flow.
係容易清喎。
What was this for again?
The company's 25th
公司
anniversary.
成了25
Looks
周
like
年，
it
看
used
来
to
这
be
一
on the
定
last
是
pedestal.
陈列在最后一桌上。
This drone was what again?
The Dragonfly 6.
Maybe my focus can help here.
將我殺啦！將我溜線咯，到25哦，到2咯，40咯。
That's not it.
又不对，22號，25。
That didn't work.
没有成功啊！我们游戏先到这边啦，我们下个影片再继续。如果大家喜欢的话，帮我订个阅、个来，帮我分享一下，谢谢大家收看，我们下个影片见，拜拜！我继续找密码先。